Well, welcome back. We're here. We're live. Jake Man has showed up today. What do you got, Jake?
Like shop stuff.
Yeah, man. What do you got going on in the El Chapo?
Finished putting a CRF 150R together today. Did some more cylinder heads. Did some ECU flashing. Buttoned that ZX up and got it on the dyno. Pulled that K67 BMW apart to lower it, but like it's not just a lowering link on those bikes. It's such a mess. Like in the instructions, the last part of like tools you need literally says like a 12-pack of beer and the patience of a god or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of that
me.
stuff going on.
And
Got some forks, rebuilding some forks.
the destruction you showed me yesterday.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I got the engine out of the CBR and torn apart, and it spun two bearings, and the other two are pretty trashed, so it is destroyed.
What CBR is that?
It is a 2006 CBR 1000 that
Okay.
the customer had built. He's actually from West Virginia. He shipped the engine out, had it built. They shipped it back to him. He put it in the bike. Drove up here, and I was gonna tune it while he just like hung out in Columbus or something, and it just started making noise like right away. And so I pulled it off, and I called him, and he came over and checked it out, and I was like, okay, well, let's pull it apart and figure out what it is. And actually, I didn't think it was a rod bearing because, excuse me, I drained the oil, and like there was no material down in the oil pan or anything. It was absolutely insane for the carnage that was in there. Like,
Yeah, it looked from the picture you sent me looked really hot.
oh my gosh.
Especially that one.
The side by side picture where you see like the one okay rod and the bad rod. Yeah.
Like the end cap was like, holy shit, the shit was blue.
Yeah, it's literally like somebody just took a torch to it.
It looked like titanium.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that's actually somebody said that. They're like, man, it looks like that cap's trying to be a titanium exhaust tip. And I'm like, yeah, kinda does.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that thing's trash. So I got in touch with the customer, and he apparently has an extra crank and rods like at his house. So he's shipping me an extra or his other crank and rods, and once we get it in, we'll size up the bearings and all that, and
it's wild.
Get it all back together for him. But yeah, oof.
Do you see that a lot?
No.
Not so much like, well, you get an engine and you're gonna tune it and then it falls apart, but like, do you see that much destructiveness?
When a rod bearing spins, yeah. Like if you can catch it and like turn it off right away, then it's usually not like so bad. But anytime a rod bearing spins, it's damage. It's a lot of damage. Yeah, that one's like the worst. I mean, it is like literally the bearings. I mean, I sent you the pictures,
right?
But it had smashed them and destroyed them so much that they just like overlapped onto each other. So it just looked like one half of a bearing shell, but it was both of them just crushed into each other. Yeah, the crank journals. Once that happens, the crank journals get destroyed. And then on the bike stuff,
cams look good still.
Yeah, top end looked fine. But yeah, on the in the car world, you can usually do like a hard weld, or you can go to like a reduced journal size and run like a different bearing. Like it's not common, but it's not uncommon for like small block Chevys to run a rod journal that's for a like Honda size.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like 2-inch maybe instead of like 2, 3 or whatever it is. I honestly don't remember, but they run a reduced size, and it's like the Honda rod journal size. So if it were something like that, you could turn it down and fit that, but bikes don't play those games usually. So we'll just put the new crank in and like I said, size it up and get the bearings for that and get her all back together.
I'll see if I can snag those pictures and put them up.
Yeah, they were not healthy.
No, not at all. For me, yeah, just Got some things done. Unfortunately, stayed up like 2 days to do it last week because ran into some issues and some stuff that's been plaguing me for a while, which I had to spend some time testing to figure out what it was. Which hopefully, from all the testing I did lately, I think I've finally found the culprit of my issue. Ordered some parts to fix that, and then spent last night and part of today, well, most of today, cleaning out my blast cabinet and lines and stuff and getting that done. And, waiting on this part to come in, which I think should be tomorrow. But, just as luck would have it, as soon as things fail, I get massive amounts of inquiries for powder coat. So that's good. And then I had a guy call me from, this is not the first time either, but a guy called me the other day about doing some dirt track wings, like circle track, dirt track wings.
Oh, on the cars?
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, my oven's still not done. I'm like, I can't fit it in my current oven. Well, it probably could, but it'd be so close. It'd just be, I don't like dealing with that. But, and he's like, well, I have all these guys. They drive real far to get stuff done, and you're close. He works at Honda, and he's like, got a whole bunch of guys at track.
What's his name?
I can't remember off the top of my head now. I'd have to look, but was asking about that, and then I had a guy like 8 months ago ask me about that. I did some other parts for him, but I'm like, I can't do a fucking tube chassis or your wings.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to even do a tube chassis. I couldn't fit it in my new oven anyways, I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. They're the little like...
Are they like the quarter midgets or the full size? Like,
they run... Well, his was a V8.
Yeah, so...
But I think the other ones were like the smaller ones with like the bike engines.
Oh, okay, yeah. You remember that guy I was telling you about that lives like outside of Plain City that has like a $1 million race shop and everything?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he builds, is those
nice.
circle track engines. So, but yeah, my buddy, his name's Lou, and he races them. So I didn't know. He's obviously around here.
That's man. No. His name is I got it right here actually. Wrong one. Let me see. You may know him. I don't know. Connor Young. That's his name.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, so, that all kind of went sideways on me, and hopefully this all completely cures my situation, because it's been plaguing me for a while, and yeah, so that's fantastic. But yeah, and then got inquiry for doing some body work for a major Moto America team, and so basically I put the bid in on the job, and I guess find out if we're gonna do that or not.
Have you seen those cars, like the Legend cars?
Yeah, those are cool as shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Very
my buddy
cool.
races one of those. It's got an MT-09 engine in it.
Oh, nice.
They run.
Very cool.
They run crated MT-09s, so you can't touch them for the class, but they're all MT-09 engines. I thought that was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that body work would be cool. A lot of work, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, it's ton of work, man.
Did he say what body work it was? Like who made it?
No, and I don't want to like get into it too much because
Yeah.
I'm not set on doing it yet or anything and whatever. But no,
because like Moto Forza and Bike Blast and all those, like they come.
Oh,
from...
you mean the company? Yeah, CRC for like 3 sets, and then the other 5 sets are I think Moto Forza.
Okay.
And
so like the Moto Forzas are great, but they come from overseas, so there's so much more like chance of them getting messed up.
I know, and it's plus like the CRC stuff actually comes primed, and the Moto Forza stuff is gel coat, so there's a lot more work in that. But
yeah. So that body work I gave you was Bike Blast, and it's identical to Moto Forza, like, and it even comes from the same country. Like they're both from like the Czech over there.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're the exact same body work, and somebody puts a different sticker on it.
Yeah.
It was like identical. Had like the same like fiber reinforcement like on all the little attachment points and everything. The same white gel coat on it. But clearly you saw how bad mine was.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. Some stuff comes out, and you find it looks really good, and then other stuff is just dude, it's a shit show. So when I quoted, I gave him a quote and said, "This is all bearing on what what it looks like when I get it, because it
Yeah.
could be more." But I gave him a pretty roundabout to what it could be, whatever, and like there's a certain specific color too, and some of that sometimes can be.
Did he say anything about decals? Or
Yeah,
you were,
they'll do their own decals.
like they're gonna do the decals.
Yeah, they
I
have
gotcha.
somebody that does them, so they'll take care of that. So
Well, that's nice. Then you don't have to like worry about all that and trying to fit decals when you don't have a bike, and that would just be a pain.
yeah, that's all. I mean, that'd be a whole nother layer to it, but yeah, they'll do that stuff on the other end. So like 3 sets are like a two-tone, and then 5 sets will be a single color, so not too bad. But the the only thing it sucks is Daytona is coming up soon, so some of them will need to be done for that, and then after that they all need to be done. The rest need to be done by the first round of Moto America. So
Actually, isn't Daytona in like March or something like that?
yeah.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, and like the tighter the schedule gets, plus what my
Yeah.
schedule is, like I don't know what's going to come up.
How long would that take you to do those?
Well,
do that, like,
it depends on how long I want to stay up.
like if you did a normal, like you worked 8 hours a day.
Well, I never do that. I always work over that. But I mean, it depends on how good the body work is, to be honest. And if it's the CRC stuff where it's already primed, then that's skipping a step. But let's say it's the two-tone body work that's going to be the CRC stuff that's already primed. There's still more work there. So I mean, essentially, I could get it probably done 3 sets. It'd probably take 2 days to get the 3 sets done if I really bust. But the
But you're
five
gonna have like 40 hours or something wrapped up in this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's it just depends, and it kind of sucks because if you're doing that much at once, you want to do all the steps at once. But I don't know. If I get caught in a situation, I really don't want to leave the stuff overnight in base coat before I clear it. And there's a window, you know what I mean? And I mean, it would be okay, but I still like to just do it all at once. Let it flash 30 minutes and then shoot clear and be good. But yeah, I mean, it really all depends on how much work needs done to them. But the other stuff that would need primer or a sealer on it, depending on what's going on, that's a whole nother day in itself. Shoot it, let it dry, scuff it, unless it's good, and then seal it and then shoot it. But there's so many variables, right? So it's, who knows. But yeah, it'd be cool to do. But see what happens. I can't do it for free, that's for sure. Material cost has gone so high lately, and all those little factors make different things going on there. So yeah. Do we have any questions or anything yet?
I gotta like sparingly look at mine because I have 5% battery left. So
Yeah. Well,
I just gotta peek at it.
there's a cord right there and charger up on the wall if you want that.
Is it C?
Yeah, that black one, that's C. Yep. So now we passed the shop stuff. Oh well, there's a couple of things too. I did get in. I ordered that Dayton, like that big 24-inch tube axle fan for my new powder coating room, and I get filters and stuff I'm gonna get, but since the oven's not done yet, can't start on that. But was too good a deal to pass up, so got that. Yeah, things are just going, and we got that Fury finished, which the guy was really happy with, and I have to basically hold on to that until it's dry.
Oh, so it's still sitting in there?
Yeah, he asked me. I'm like, I understand. Like, I don't want you to take it home. Like,
At least he paid though, so
yeah, we're good.
Cover it up and stick it in a corner.
He was really happy with it, and so yeah, the guy his son is the one I was dealing with the whole time. So the father I never met. The guy that owns the bike is the father. So it was the father, his wife, the son, and his wife. So they all
They
liked
all
it.
came over to check it out.
Yeah, because they were on their way to dinner or whatever.
Oh, that's
so.
cool. Oh, good thing he's happy with it.
Yeah, super happy with it. So good on that. Yeah, and we can go into some questions. Anybody any questions with powder coat stuff, engine work, dyno tuning, Cerakote, paint work,
Rod
I guess,
bearings.
too. Yeah, rod bearings. I'm trying to get as soon as I get those pictures, as soon as they get emailed over, then I'm gonna put them up. But for whatever reason, I don't know if they're just huge.
They probably are big pictures. Like, I never scale down my phone pictures.
That's the thing. I don't know why it takes so long to get. Email should be instant, and yet it's not. So, unless it's in my spam folder. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's crazy. From myself to myself, and it's in spam. Let's see here. We'll get these.
Oh, yeah. That's a good looking one right there.
Yeah. Give me a minute, guys, and I'll get some of these photos up. I think that's the same one. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. There's two doubles on there.
Come on. Go. Where's that out? Bear with me while I find these photos and put some up here. Let's see. Get that one up first.
It's a good one.
Oh, there she be. Let's see if I can get this thing. There you go. So talk us through this bad boy here. You can see, right there, that nice blue spot. That got pretty hot, huh?
If you notice, one is different than the other. They're not supposed to be colorful.
Yeah, just a tad. And then we'll switch up here and get the other one up on it so you can see the actual. This is boom. Yeah. That's nice. That's on the crank side, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then one more will be the bearing. Boom. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move this one a little bit up here.
That's a beautiful bearing.
Yeah, it looks good. Got real hot like.
Yeah. So that's what happens when you spin a rod bearing. Right there.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's fantastic.
If you do that and you continue to run it, that's when your rod goes through your block.
Well, things happen sometimes.
Yeah, because eventually that bearing, because if you guys actually saw like how thin that bearing is now, it is wiped away to almost nothing. And as soon as that bearing's gone, then the rod is just bouncing up and down on that crank, and it'll just weld itself to it, and then something will give, and it usually just breaks the rod.
Rod breakage is not good, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily want it. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, anybody, let's take some questions if you got them.
Unless maybe you're going for like insurance fraud or something, so you just drain all the oil out of your bike and run it. And
I haven't seen a motor blow for insurance fraud, but I've saw some other stuff that's pretty shady. I don't know if I told you about it or not. I won't get into it on here, but I'll tell you later, whatever. But
there was, I know of 2 insurance frauds.
Yeah, me too, but I don't think they're the same. I think we know one.
I don't know.
A certain Ducati.
Oh, yep. The other was a vehicle, a van.
call that a form and
place bearing, yeah.
It's
It's just forged up a little bit, you know.
yeah,
It just keeps smashing itself in, and it's a forged bearing.
forged in fire. While we wait for some questions or comments or whatever you want here, let's see, where can we put this? We'll put that right there's fine. I don't know if you saw this or not, but I was listening to what the hell is it? I forget the name of the podcast. It's the Moto America podcast. The Bice and Carruthers and Bice, Off Track with Carruthers and Bice. They had Chavi on. He doesn't have a ride.
What?
Right. So he's definitely not in Super Sport.
Well,
because they already got too many.
I guess that's not the craziest thing to think about, because it sounded like two of the major teams kind of disbanded after the season. Like, because we know Tytler's did,
Right.
and then came back, but it kind of seems like...
Well, I don't know if Tytler's is even back. I've heard mixed things. I've heard they're not coming back. So if that's the case, you have Beaubier without a ride. You got Chavi without a ride. You got they had an interview with JD Beach as well, and JD. 1 second, Scott. We'll get your question. JD wants to get on the grid, but he doesn't have a ride either. We'll get back to that here in just a second. We'll take Scott's question. 03 Sporty 1200 dies on me after it gets warm, maybe after 10 minutes or so. Someone said maybe the stator or voltage regulator. Any ideas?
03 is going to be carbureted Sporty. Stator and voltage regulator, like they can certainly like make the bike die. But like it won't start back up or anything. So essentially, your stator outputs, power that goes through the voltage regulator and rectifier, which it converts it to DC from AC, so that the bike can use it, and then it feeds it back into the battery, and then it's all like one big loop. So if the stator dies or the voltage regulator dies, and essentially no juice can come out of the engine and charge the battery, then the battery will just run the bike until the battery dies, and then the bike will die. But then the bike won't turn back on, obviously, because the battery's dead. So if you have something like that, you could have a charging system issue.
Which I will say that I don't know if you know this or not, but Harley's had an issue with the regulator or rectifier, but they were generally on the touring bikes up front.
Yeah, 100%.
And an 03, I've never really heard of that problem on that. Scott, okay, so it won't start until maybe an hour after. Like, can you crank it, though? If you crank the bike, will it, like, turn over and just not start? Or will it just not even, like, no juice at all? Because I would say valves, right?
It's, I mean, it could be a whole host of things, honestly. Like, it cranks but no starts. I mean, you could honestly be getting into like some weird vapor lock issues, that's preventing it from fueling. I mean, I've seen engines overheat and like basically seize themselves up, and then when they cool back off, they'll start back up. But this isn't something that should be happening like lots of times. Like, is this a very common thing, or like this just started on the bike?
Waiting for your reply, Mr. Llama. Happened 3 times during end of season.
Oh, it's just a random event?
Is it random, or did it start happening and then it happened every time after that? Happens every time now. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, there's a host of things. I mean, obviously, I'd recommend you take it somewhere anywhere, like a dealership, myself, whatever, get it looked at. But again, yeah, like I mean, there's a lot of things that can, like I said, happen when they get hot. You can have vapor lock stuff, you can have valve stuff, you can have oil stuff. Like I said, if you're losing, oil pressure, stuff like that, like it can literally like seize the engine up. So yeah, I would get her looked at.
Well, it's
I think those are gravity feed.
yeah, Matt. That's probably gravity fed. So
I
it
can't
doesn't
say
count.
100%, but I think they're gravity fed.
I'm pretty sure they are.
So they're very basic, right? Like there's not much to them. So, but it is in O3. Like you do have full electronic ignition and all that good stuff. So like you don't have some weird thing like some points that aren't adjusted or something like that.
Yeah, Scott, get a hold of me, and I can get you Jake's number and contact info if you want to get a hold of him. I'm sure he'd be happy to take care of you. But yeah, I mean, like he said, first thing I would probably check, and I'm not you, obviously, but just because I've seen that before on not Harleys, but in general, valves, that'd be check the valves first, because who knows? I mean, you probably don't know the last time it had a valve adjustment, or if it ever had a valve adjustment or whatever. That's all the information that Jake would probably need.
They might, honestly, they might be hydraulic.
Well, they are, because it's hydraulic lifters,
Yeah.
push rods.
Yeah. Yep.
But those usually they wear down, and it could be
Yeah, we'll just
Well,
not
it's gonna-
speculate on everything.
yeah. I mean, because if I was gonna say oil pump or something, but because that's manual and cam change temperatures, but that would just leave the valves closed and not open, which in theory it would try to start versus having the valves open
yeah,
and not start. But yeah, get in touch with me, and then I'll put you in touch with Jake. Give you his number, you can get a hold of him, or whatever, and he can take a look at it if you need him to. If not, somewhere close or whatever, probably Harley dealership. But if you want to get just bent over, raked over the coals, go ahead and take it to a Harley dealership, because they're insanely priced.
yeah, and I don't know who Scott is, so I don't know if he's local or
Scott's
what.
a dude I used to work with. He lives
okay.
in where the hell is he? Where the hell are you out of, Scott? Oh shit. That's not Wapakoneta. I can't remember. Sydney, yes.
The old Wapak. Oh,
yeah,
Sydney. Yeah.
Yep. So
Sydney's up there. Is that Salina that's up there by Wapak? Is it Sydney?
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know
not
either.
good with that. So yeah, we'll wait a little bit longer, see if anybody else got some questions. But yeah, back to that. The JD Beach, Bobier,
That'd be so crazy
Chavi.
if Tytler doesn't run it and if Warhorse doesn't run multiple bikes. That'd just be like there'll be so much talent that's missing from the grid.
Well, Heron also said that they haven't sorted a contract for him either yet. So, who knows who's going to run at Daytona? I mean, it's getting down to the wire, man, and that's wild. Like I thought people would be in their places pretty quickly, but Chavi still wants to race over here, and he's good friends with Ruben Zaus, and Ruben Zaus is running the baggers this year. And they asked Chavi if, hey, would you get on a bagger? And he's like, yeah. I mean, eventually he goes, but like I want to run Superbike.
He's probably like, if that's the only bike I can get on, then yeah, I'll get on a bagger. But I really would like to race,
well, that's his
racing
goal.
bikes.
That's his goal. His goal was to run a bagger over here, or not a bagger, a Ducati in Superbike over here, and his plan is to live in Florida. He started a parts company, carbon fiber stuff, with one of his buddies, I guess.
Oh, cool.
And so they're going to be, they asked him about about maybe sponsoring a bike, but he's looking for a ride, but maybe maybe have some sponsorship with his parts into that if he gets a ride. But I mean, dude, to not have Chavi really did very well.
Well, how do you not like either have a ride as a champion, a current champion, or how do you not sign a current champion?
Yeah,
Like I don't know how that does. Like, well, we're gonna sign this guy over here
Well,
who's really just run of the mill.
I think that you know, the some of the teams probably didn't know what was going on with HSBK or Titlers, so they re-sign guys or whatever. You know, there was no real word out, and I guess all these decisions kind of just are kind of recent, or not recent, not to sign him, but like they haven't made a decision. So
yeah, but you'd think teams would still reach out, right? Like it's
Well,
they're
you'd think.
salesmen, right?
You'd
So like
think.
M4 is just gonna be like, hey Chavi, you got a ride?
Right.
Because like you're a good rider. We wouldn't mind having you on our bike. Or like even teams like Atlas or something like that. You know, like hey, you got a ride? Because if you don't, we'll put you on ours.
So I mean, this isn't as exuberant as that, but Avery Dreyer won Junior Cup, and he doesn't have a ride.
Yeah. Well, didn't
So he wants to either do Twins or Super Sport, and I guess he had some offers, but there isn't like nothing's came to light yet. And same with like JD Beach, he not Moto America, but he has like 3 offers for flat track.
Yeah.
But he's like, I want to see.
Oh
if I
yeah,
get
for
some with
sure.
Moto America first.
But that was Landers last year, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And Landers has a ride this year now already with Vance and Hines.
Yeah.
So he'll be with Gillum, and that'll be interesting, man. Because that kid's he's a nut, anyways.
He's good, but I'm back to the same thing with Xavi. Like I'd much rather see him racing. Not that the baggers aren't race bikes, but everybody knows that the bagger class is more of a fun class and a development class and stuff like that. Like the real competitive racing is like the super bikes and super sport. Like, and that's I would rather see him on that than a bagger. But
Yeah, for sure. I mean, man.
the baggers are entertaining, you know, and you can't take anything from them. They're extremely fast. The guys that ride them are extremely good.
Oh yeah.
But it's like the baggers are like the super hooligans, just big.
Yeah, Super Hooligans is they're extending how many rounds they're doing this year too, because it got so popular. Excuse me. But
And they allowed some more bikes in too, right?
Yeah, they did. It's kind of wild though. Like, I mean, if anybody could win on a Ducati, I think Heron has a very good chance this year for being on it last year and doing pretty well, being very consistent. But you know, I think Xavi could do. I don't know, man. I think Xavi could outperform Heron, just because he has experience on it, and now they have the data from it. I think Xavi would be the go-to.
Yeah.
At least both of them.
Well, yeah,
so
for sure.
They have a way better chance of doing it.
Like I like Heron, and I think he's funny and stuff like that. But if I were a team principal, I would pick Xavi.
100%.
I would take him over him.
Xavi has I think more experience overall. Not that Josh doesn't have experience, but Xavi has more experience and way more different realms. I mean, Xavi's already ridden America before, even before Moto America. He rode in Moto America. He's been in BSB and did Suzuka. He's done all kinds of shit, man. So he's just so well versed, and he has a lot of experience on the Ducati as well. And you know, I think he said he talked with what's his name, the Corsa guy, Pablo Chabati, about like, hey, if you have something for me, I'll take it. And he said that he had got offers, but for overseas, he just doesn't want to be there. He wants to end his career in America, and he wants to be here. So I mean, props to him. I mean, he loves America. It's sweet, man. Which is weird because something as far as like road racing goes, America's not the place to be if you want road racing.
Yeah, but a lot of people like it.
Yeah, he loves the series, and he loves everything about it. He loves America, so
like there's so many people that are like, well, I'm gonna step down. I'm gonna go to Moto America. Like, you don't want to go to BSB, you don't want to go to Australian Superbike. You want to come on over to America and run Moto A. Like, okay.
Hey, man, if we can attract talent, that's cool. It's just, we need the money there. It's not like it used to be in AMA when you had, factory back teams and stuff. I mean, aside from, I wouldn't even call like Ducati is kind of factory backed, but at the same time not. Like they're not shelling out that much money for them.
Yeah, there's no factory teams anymore in Moto
it's just
America.
big like Graves or M4, these big
Well, like
sponsors.
Attack is the front running team for Yamaha.
Right.
But it's not factory Yamaha. Is there factory Yamaha support? Probably a little bit, but it's not factory Yamaha.
Right,
Same with
they're getting
M4. M4 is, what used to be factory Suzuki. And it's not factory Suzuki anymore, but is there factory and I don't even know if there is any factory support on M4 because Suzuki kind of pulled everything. But
well, they might
still.
be giving them like some deals on kit parts or stuff like
Yeah,
that.
probably, yeah.
But not like,
But it's not full-fledged factory
Here's the
team.
shit for free.
Yeah. Like what, 17 when did Elias win in 17? 17, 18, something like that?
Yeah.
Like that was full factory Suzuki.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
that was AMA, right?
No, still Moto A.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Was it Honos back then?
Honos was 2 years ago, but they might have been doing it back in 17 too. I don't know.
What was it before Honos?
Dude, I
They just keep cycling through like major sponsors.
whoever's gonna pay.
Yeah,
you know
right,
what I mean?
like-
So that's all that really matters, I guess.
I think like from what I read, it's Medallia going like into this season too, right?
I don't know if it is or not. Medallia was no, were they last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
Oh yeah, and then Honus was before that. I think for some reason, I think it's changed.
Well, probably. It's probably OnlyFans now. OnlyFans, Moto America.
Hey, whatever gets some money in there, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can get some money in the what I'm saying, money in the sport, then we're good. But yeah,
It's crazy how much OnlyFans stuff you see. Like, there's OnlyFans in Moto 2.
F1, right?
There's maybe I don't really keep
think
up with
so.
F1, but probably. But then obviously, like, there's a bunch of OnlyFans all around Moto America.
Yeah.
Especially with Heron,
Yeah.
because we both know he's great at that with social media and being a extrovert and getting sponsor money and being public
For
and all
sure.
that good stuff.
Yeah, it's but if
Didn't you say his sister's on OnlyFans?
yeah, it was on TDJU that someone found that out, and then I was fucking.
I wonder if there's any kind of conversation like that. Like Heron's like, "Hey, my sister's on here," or if it was backwards. If
No,
OnlyFans is like, "Hey, why don't you tell your sister to?"
No, I don't know how long she was on there, but somebody found it, and then Heron got on TDJU, and then it was just like all of a sudden it got shut down. Whatever, like she shut her account down and stuff, whatever. But that one went real quick because everybody was just firing at Heron like crazy, which that would be annoying. Everybody already dogs on him as it is, and then to bring his family into it and shit would, it's like Jesus
for sure.
Christ. But
Well, yeah, like you were saying, did we watch the interview or something where you were talking about Heron and like his ex-girlfriend and like messing with his head and
yeah, that was
like everybody talking screwed up like the way he felt about riding the bike and all that good stuff.
I think it was on Pipe Dream podcast or whatever, but
So yeah, he probably wants a nice clean head to
yeah,
go race
for sure.
because he's kind of on his second wind right now. Like he had really good success on the early R1 when he was Josh Hayes' his teammate, right? So
yep.
like whatever 12, 13, 14, something like that. And then he just kind of bounced around for a little bit, like went to this team, went to that team, private team, Attack, Factory Suzuki for one season, right?
Yeah.
And then, well, I think he came off the Suzuki and went on the Ducati, didn't he?
No, I thought he was on Yamaha.
Like factory Yamaha?
Wasn't he?
No, I think it was just Peterson. Because obviously Jake Gagne was with Beaubier. Jake Gagne took #1 spot when Beaubier left, and they signed Peterson.
No, Heron was on a Yamaha still at one point.
Well, I know he rode the Attack. He rode for Attack before Attack was the premier team.
Yeah.
Like, because that was that season where he, like, they had that big ordeal during that rain race when he brung in, like, his like stock R1 or something like that.
Yep. That was the first race because something happened. The
Yeah, like the truck broke down or something like that.
Yeah, Steve, you're right. Yeah, TDJU was all over that. They always are. They're on top of any shit they can throw at somebody. They're on it right away. Absolutely, it's hilarious. I never comment on there, but it's crazy to read. And like if you're brave enough to post anything, they just chop you down immediately. It doesn't matter. All they do, like all those people do, I mean, I find it hilarious, but that's why I would never post shit on there, because I'm smarter than that. But anytime anybody posts anything, they just dog. It doesn't matter if it's like anything worthwhile or not. And then they all, like, everybody, like if somebody has a Triumph or somebody has an R6 or a Gixxer, they're on those Gixxer pages or R6 pages or whatever, and they find, oh, look at this dumbass post, and then post it on there, and then they go and just rile up people and they dog them, and it's just like a shit show.
It's very similar to like the banter you would have between like two best friends.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Dude, you are so fucking dumb. Like,
but people don't get it.
The whole world, like, it's 10,000 people that are doing it,
and people get real butthurt on stuff, so like it becomes like just a situation.
I left it a long time ago, but when I was still on there, it was during the Andrew Garner, and that girl, whoever that girl was,
Brittany LaPrade,
maybe. Like they were talking, like they were fucking with each other, or like he was messing with her, she was messing with him, something, and it was just like
they were supposed to raise,
like you were saying, like they're pulling up pictures from their profiles and putting them on there.
Oh,
and
dude,
like,
it gets so
all
nasty.
kinds of crazy stuff. And I was like, this is
yeah. Videos start popping up because people have videos of these certain people and shit. It's just so wild, dude. But yeah, I mean, it's fun.
There's no rule. That is like the Thunderdome of Facebook right there. There's 100%. No rules, man. You just get in there.
It used to be TDJ, like Track Day Junkies, and then somebody's like, this isn't off the hook enough.
Yeah, exactly.
We need it to be unleashed.
Like they wanna censor us. Let's go make one where we just say whatever.
Yeah, and Brian Van loves it.
Does he?
Oh yeah, dude. He's all about it.
I think I remember him posting like customer reviews or some stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. And so last year, TD, oh God, I'm mixing my letters up here. TDJU, they paid for a wrap. So Max ran TDJU on the side of the bike instead of the sport bike track gear, like for like 3 rounds, like huge on the side. Yeah, that's how invested they were in it. So, and awesome. It's funny because like they'll put out discount codes, and it's like the discount code is eat a bag of dicks. It's hilarious shit.
That's awesome. Well, you own your own company, you do whatever you want, right?
Yeah. But I mean, that's all those guys they're club racers, Moto America guys, whatever, and they buy shit from them. So like, he's just like, if you're offended, just don't buy shit. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty wild. That place it's off the hook for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That'll be crazy if we're missing.
Yeah, because
multiple champions.
We were talking about
JD Beach is a champion. Cambobier is a champion. Chavi's a champion. Like, and then where did PJ go? Because PJ went back to Super Sport on Ray Hall.
Yeah. And so I know Cam. Cam Peterson has a ride. He's with Attack for sure.
I wonder if there was any kind of like talk about that where they were like, well, now we got Ray Hall Ducati, so maybe we don't want Warhorse or something like that.
No, that is why there's going to be too many super sports, because they asked about that and they're like, well, they're already going to be flooded with 3 bikes, so we're good. But Chavi didn't want to ride super sport again anyways, so it didn't really matter. He wanted a super bike, but yeah, it's we were talking like a couple months ago about how awesome it's going to be to have all these superstars out there, and now it's like, fuck, are we even going to get half of them?
It's going to be terrible if it's just Jake out there again versus because Matt Schultz or Schultz, however you say it.
Yeah,
like he doesn't have a ride at the moment, right?
Yeah.
So like that's another huge talent out of the pool.
Man, I don't know. I guess
it's going to be like Attack versus like 4 private teams, and then like that's it.
And I would say like,
they're still going to run race fuel.
Well, we could kind of see at Daytona who's where, but like at the same time not, because there's a lot of guys that go down there and run on teams that aren't going to run Moto America in general, and it's all super sport anyways because they don't run the thousands. But
yeah, like Posh, he always runs the Triumph, and Danny Eslick always runs the Triumph.
What is that?
I can't remember.
TCBY or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
But I know Heron wants to do Daytona, but He doesn't know if he's going to do that or not because doesn't know if HSBK is going to get into it or whatever.
Right,
but,
like you need a bike.
What's up, Chris? How's it going? Do you know anything? You might be a little bit more in tune than we are. Is Tytler's still going to be in the mix or no? We're just talking about, Chavi, no ride. As of right now, Herron isn't really, doesn't have an actual ride. There's nothing said. JD Beach is looking for something. There's nothing for him yet. We don't, Tytler's, he said he heard Tytler's is running Cam and JD Beach. Okay. The last I saw an interview with JD, he said he didn't have a ride yet. This was a week or two ago. But we both, me and Jake, heard that it was kind of on the fence if like Tytler's was out at the end of the season, then they were coming back, and then I heard they weren't going to be running this year. So if that's true, then I'm excited about that. Cam and JD Beach on Beamers. Because we kind of almost figured that, right? Because JD had the BMW down at like Homestead or Daytona or something practicing. So that was kind of one of our things we thought about. But, yeah, man, I'm just looking for a really good grid. I really hope that HSBK changes their mind and brings Chavi. And, I mean, especially if you're not running a super sport, dude, do it.
And so the only people that run one bike are like the just the private teams, like every big team seems to run two
unless
bikes.
you're HSBK and you have to pay for an ex-GP rider. Because, I mean, that's what they were doing for years. But
that's true.
I mean, not saying that Herron's got to cost less. You know what I mean? Has to.
I'm sure he got a nice bonus for winning Supersport Championship.
For
but
sure.
I'm sure he's still cheaper than Petrucci was.
Yeah, 100%. But, I mean, I would assume that,
maybe Ducati was helping pay with that, too.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? They're on a roll.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to keep going, keep the good times going, and why wouldn't you? But
maybe it was something like that, like, hey, we funded you some big names for the last couple years, so, like, get your own funding now, and if you can run two bikes, cool. If you can't, cool. Like, do what you can. I don't know.
If they want to still be competitive and this would be for me so far. This would be their most competitive year if they had Herron and Chavi. You got two guys, both really good. You have the data. The bike's working good. We don't know. I guess we'll find out.
I think last year was really good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but it would be even better this year because they have so much data. And Herron got hurt early.
Yeah.
So, that'll help out quite a bit. And I think they could really be farther along in the championship. I think they could compete with Attack a lot easier this year. And I think they could do some damage. Them and BMW, I think both.
Honestly, the way Cam looked for being on that bike with no time at all, like, I think he will be the fastest out there. Like, I mean, he the first race, he was putting it to Gagne.
100%.
Like,
if he didn't get hurt, man.
And how much time did he have on the bike?
Nothing.
I mean, we don't really know, but like, he clearly didn't have as much time as like any of the guys on the Yamahas, right?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
They had seasons and seasons on the bike.
Yeah, Chris, we already discussed that. Like, yeah, Warhorse is not in Super Sport because Ray Hall's got 3 bikes, so they're not doing that. And yeah, Super Sport is freaking gonna be stacked this year for sure. But that should be really insane on that. I don't know. I haven't heard what. Oh man, why am I Stefano? I don't know if he's got a ride this year.
No, remember we saw Stefano on a BMW, and we were speculating about it.
Remember he ran it last year, but fill in, and then he was racing on it in Homestead or Daytona as well, something like that.
Yeah, he was riding it like outside of like Moto A, and so it was like, why?
So maybe he'll be.
Why would you have a Tytler's bike?
I don't know.
Riding.
If Tytler's still going, maybe he'll be on the Stock 1000 class because they did that.
Yeah, they did.
Who knows?
What didn't they have like Corey Alexander and Stock 1000 last?
They had no. He was in Superbike, I believe, on a lesser bike, but
So probably in Superbike on a stock 1,000.
yeah,
What is that, like
something-
Steel Commander?
yeah,
fucking
something like
whatever
that.
it is.
But so hopefully, everybody that did very well last year comes back and has a good ride, and we can see some action this year. It would
Yeah,
be
nobody
awesome.
nobody likes to watch one guy just go and go
No.
and go. Like if you can have 4 guys, 5 guys up there, that'd be epic. But even just having 3, like at was it America? Where like
Road Atlanta.
Atlanta,
Yeah.
yeah, where like they all 3 just kept trading. Like that
Yeah.
was great. It's
Yeah.
awesome to watch. And same thing that first year when Batista came back and it was Batista, Ray, and Top Rack trading back and forth. Like that was awesome.
Matt might be with Honda. Matt who? Skoltz?
That'd be interesting.
Well, they got some big time.
Because
God.
there's not a Fireblade in there right now, so
No, but they have a lot of What the hell's the word I'm looking for? What they just announced?
contingency
Yeah,
money.
big contingency.
Yeah, they do
Excuse
have a bunch of contingency money.
That'd be
Maybe.
interesting.
What would have you heard the team though? Like he might be on a Honda, but like, is there a team that's backing that? Is it the well, because Superbike Unlimited was talking about trying to figure out how to like get Westby going, like with them, because they like helped Westby out, I guess, and stuff.
Yes, what, Chris? I haven't heard.
oh,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Whatever. It should be a good year regardless. But if we can get everybody back and
I
have
mean,
the grids packed,
I would love to see a Fireblade out there. That'd be awesome.
And Skoltz on it. He can ride, man.
Skoltz is so good, and he's such a nice guy. Skoltz is amazing. He's just the nicest personality, and he can ride the wheels off a bike. Like
Yeah, we'll see.
he's an awesome guy, and he's been second place for like 10 years.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, a
he
lot of
just
these-
always comes up short.
Like a lot of these guys, like Skoltz, Peterson got the surgeries and stuff, and then he was telling Skoltz to go get like the arm pump surgeries and stuff because he's had a lot of issues with it, and I don't think he got it yet, or maybe he did, but those are some things that like get taken care of. He probably do better.
Yeah, I could be one of those things where Attack paid for Peterson's and nobody's paying for Skoltz.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't even
I
speculate.
don't know how
I have no
insurance
idea.
works when you're a professional racer. Like, do you just have normal health coverage?
No,
and,
I
like-
doubt. I bet you have to carry your own. Like, there's like they either. Well, who knows? It's either it's worked into the deal, or it's like, hey, we pay you this, and you have to find your own.
Yeah. Because, I mean, clearly you have to have it. You're riding a motorcycle on a racetrack, right?
Oh,
Like, you
yeah,
got to have
for
some kind of
sure, yeah.
insurance.
Got to. That's for.
But there's
sure.
also track insurance too, right? So like the team probably like fronts the cost for that, or maybe Moto A fronts the cost for that, and that's part of like their
Moto
their
A
charge to
definitely.
stuff.
Well, yeah, they pay for the track insurance, and then whatever the entry fees and all those fees are, kind of go into that. I would
Yeah.
assume. Ticket sales and blah blah blah, whatever. But track insurance is insane.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing if Glenn Irwin came over, because he's got time on a Fireblade.
I don't even know who that is.
He's BSB big time.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know who you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yep.
Yeah, he's awesome. That would be sweet. Yeah, that'd be I mean, could you imagine how big Moto A would be with just all these huge names? BSB's awesome. BSB is like the wild wild west of racing.
Bro,
Like,
it's like
here is 230 horsepower laters.
Yeah.
You know, like, wait, do we have an electronics guy? Like, no, does the bike start? Yeah, okay, we don't need an electronics guy. Like, what? You know, you got your suspension guy over here. See you
Yeah.
later.
And those tracks are wild too.
Oh my God, like Caldwell Park. Like,
Oh.
here, go ahead and send your bike 4 feet in the air.
I know Top Rack rode it just like a couple times, but he was like, dude, it's sketchy.
I believe it. I mean, the American guys might not think so much, but yeah, you come off the world circuit and go to some of them BSB
I don't know,
tracks.
man. I think like JD Beach and shit that do motocross, I think they'd be okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think the
Oh.
American guys would be more okay with it because, like, you know, we're a little sketch here too.
Yeah.
But like when all you do, like Top Rack, when all you do is ride Premier tracks, and then
Yeah.
you go there, like, here, go to Caldwell and jump 4 foot in the air, and he's like, oh my God, okay.
Oh, you just got back from Caldwell.
Did you ride it or just watch? I'd be such a pansy going over that.
Oh, I'd be like,
Like, oh,
yeah.
did the front wheel come up? All right, cool. Like, no, you got to jump that thing. Like, okay.
I would jump it, but I would be in the fucking grass afterwards. I won't even like because if you get crossed up at all, I could only imagine. Like I've seen it where those guys are jumping, they get crossed up and they land the bikes, whatever, and they
that's
gas
sweet.
out of it. But dude,
I've seen a lot of that in Isle of Man, like when they're coming down the hills and stuff.
Oh,
And then it's
insane.
just like,
Yeah, it's insane.
oh my gosh, this is where you die. They were talking about the damper setups at Isle of Man, and they were like, you crank them up as hard as you can get them, and they're still not hard enough.
Put 2 on there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah, BSB's cool. It is. I think BSB's awesome. I love what they do with the rules and stuff.
Oh, also, in Moto America, they had talks about homologating RSV4.
Oh, that's
Remember we
right. That's
heard
right.
that?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that'll happen or not, but that'd be awesome because I'd love to see Proya back in it.
It'd be fun to see just because it's another bike.
Right.
It's bikes are almost like riders, right? Like you don't want to see the same bike as well, just like every
Right.
time.
And it usually is.
Moto A's been R1 for so
Yeah.
long. Like again, when Tony Elias went on the Suzuki, it was like, oh cool, somebody changed it up, and back to R1.
Yeah.
R1.
And then the BMW came in or the Ducati came in like, oh yay, and then they didn't do shit, but
Yeah.
still with something else. And then you had BMW step in, which is awesome. And now we have in Twins Cup the GSX 8R, which will be
Yeah.
cool to have another one of those on the grid and probably
Well, that was what's nice when they changed the Super Sport rules, because the Super Sport was just like 15 R6s and one Suzuki.
Yeah.
You know, and then the 636 came in, and then the V2, and now it's a nice breakup of everything.
Chris, you said you heard what the RSV4 was happening.
It'd be cool, but I don't know who's gonna run it.
Don't care.
Don't care.
I really don't. Hopefully there's some kind of team behind it. Maybe Robum or something. Like Robum would obviously, because they've tested before.
Yeah, they would make the most sense for sure.
Some support. So that would be cool. Just get it. I mean, honestly, you know who they had testing that bike for him was Stefano.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know.
There we go. That's the secret. Yeah, he's not going to Tytler's. He's taking an RSV4 and racing under Robum.
That would be cool, man. That'd be awesome. But yeah, we got probably no one ever is going to run an SV650 anymore because there's so many good bikes.
Yeah, there's just no reason to. Like, no reason to. You run an SV650 that's got $10,000 put into it, and you're maybe as fast as a stock RS660.
Maybe.
You know, maybe.
Yeah.
And then your engine's going to blow up after 4 laps. I mean, the 660 might not make it much longer, but, like, it'll make it a little bit longer.
Come on, man. But yeah, it should be. Let's see all that go down. It'll be cool, man. I have. This year should be good if everything.
And like in every racing, like I'm excited to see Johnny Ray on a Yamaha.
Yeah.
Not that I think he's going to do anything crazy, but I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see Top Rack on the BMW.
Oh, I can't wait.
And Johnny said he wasn't allowed to compare. Like contractually, he's not allowed to compare the bikes.
Yeah.
But he was talking because he did like a Q&A, and he was like, the Yamaha turns really, really good.
Yeah.
It has power that pulls all the way to redline. But I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so he probably thinks the Yamaha makes a little more power and turns a little better. And then obviously one of the biggest talking points, we have Mark on the Ducati,
Oh yeah.
which is it. You know, honestly, you know what I'm hoping for? Just a full season. Like that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, I think
just a full season.
I think
just
that
ride every race.
I think that he's not going to crash every race. So
Did you see what like Ducati management said? They were basically like, in a nutshell, they were like, we want a clean race, not touching people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good.
Which won't happen. Like he's still gonna hit everybody, but
yeah.
like I just want a full season from him. You know.
What's up, Farkas?
And it's gonna be tough because you know how aggressive he's gonna be on that Ducati because he's gonna be fast.
Yeah.
He's gonna be fast, and the front end is there. He is just gonna be like he's probably gonna ride that Ducati like he rode the Honda in the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
but he's not gonna kill people because it's not the Honda.
I feel like Ben Yaya this year is not going to be as dominant as he was.
I don't think so at all.
And I think Jorge Martin is going to be fucking out for blood.
Man, I know.
Prove a point like he was last year, but this year's going to be even more.
Yeah, I think like he's gonna come out swinging. I think Benyaya. So if he wins the championship next year, it's gonna be slow and steady. He's not gonna come out blasting
No.
everybody, being super aggressive and all that. Like he'll chip away, kind of like he did this year. And he doesn't show any moments of just like the most miraculous thing ever, but he just sits there and gets points and wins races. And if he can't win the race, he just chills out and takes second or third. And
Here's what's going to happen. It's going to be Martin and Marquez just
Oh, yeah.
angrily fighting.
100%.
And Bagnaia is going to be like, oh, so you guys want wide? Yeah, I'm going to go right through
exactly.
here.
I'll wait till you guys hit each other, and then I'll pass you both.
But, dude, that's going to be some epic racing because Martin and Marquez both have that just aggressive, like, just drive to win. They don't care. They're going to push it every little inch.
And they both have a huge chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, and Bender, too, because Bender is fucking in it, dude. It's going to be epic. Like, I think he's going to be battling very high up in there with those boys.
Bender's always a sleeper. Like, you just kind of, like, realize halfway through the race, like, oh, shit, Bender's up in there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention.
But
Okay.
he's going to mix it up. I think those three, man, that's going to be some epic battles. So it's going to be interesting. And then, honestly, they've already kind of turned a little bit of a corner with you think Martin will be the first to move manufacturers this year? Man, I don't think so. I think he's staying with Ducati until the end of this year, and if he doesn't get a factory ride, then he's out. Like, he's basically stated.
Well, I think he's saying, like, he'll move manufacture. Not like he's going to move it this year, but he's going to announce, like, I'm done with these guys. He's going to ride the Ducati all year.
I think that he will wait till the end of the year, and if he doesn't get a contract from Ducati, he will move.
I think the only way he gets a contract, and this is total speculation for my part, so many things have to add up, but I think the only way he gets the factory seat is if he wins the championship. Because I think if he doesn't win the championship, I don't think they're going to ditch Benyaya. And depending on how good, Anea does this year, he could be sitting on it as well. But also, if Mark does insanely good, they might want Mark on there. And if Mark wants to go to factory... Pablo's already said. He said if Mark's that good, we'll put him on a factory bike.
Yeah, well then, yeah, maybe you're right.
But that right there will basically send Martin over the edge, right? Like if Mark doesn't win a championship on a satellite bike, but then factory signs him over Martin, like that would send you over the edge.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
But I think it'll come down to Anea and Martin. So I think. If we take Mark out of the equation, it'll be whoever does better between Anea and Martin because he didn't get a fair shot last year. He got hurt, all that good stuff. But this is going to be a clean season going into it, and whichever one does better gets the seat. Is what I would say. I don't see him taking anybody except potentially those three, but really those two, right? Like, I don't think they're going to ditch Benyaya. I guess the only other person if he left VR46 would be Marco.
Yeah,
Bezzecchi.
Yep.
Because he did really, really good.
You did see that Honda did admit to the reason why their bike sucked is because they tailored it too much to Marquez.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Which,
well,
I mean, everybody knew that. But...
Like, and you can't blame them either. If you have this much talent, why not make the bike?
Right.
Like, why the fuck would you make the bike work for Taka?
Yeah.
Let's be real. Like, who cares? Like, this guy is an 8-time world champion. Give the bike to him that he wants. And did it hurt everybody? Yeah. But would it have worked out for them if Mark never got hurt? Probably. But
I don't know, man, because like even he couldn't ride the bike after a while. Like,
they
fucked a setup up somewhere, and they just lost rear grip completely. But it looks like they've already made a lot of headway, and from the riders are saying the bike is way better.
Yeah.
And it's got grip, it turns. So we'll see. Maybe they'll be. I'm not saying they're going to do like really well, but the amount of concessions that Yamaha and Honda have, like crazy amount of tires, crazy amount of testing they can do. It's insane. It's crazy.
I still don't think they're going to do anything next year. I don't think.
Hey, look,
Now-
you could say he could be out, but he was on the bike more than any other rider in Honda this year. He stayed on the bike more.
But doesn't Honda also have some kind of clause where they have to maintain like a factory Japanese rider?
Well, from the Asia Talent Cup or some shit like that, yeah. Because through each one, I think through Moto 2, Moto 3, whatever. But
Yeah, I thought so. So like Taka's like their diversity hire.
yeah, DEI. And then the wild card, Pedrosa, or not Pedrosa, Acosta. I can't wait to see. I think a lot of people have high hopes for him, but the talent is so big. I would love to see
It's going to
him.
be interesting to see if he takes this season to learn or if he just goes at it.
Well, I think if he's comfortable, he'll go. If he can run up front the first couple, then I think that I think he'll try to put it to Mark and to Martin just to see, hey, look, I'm here.
I could see him riding similar to Jack. Like he's really fast in the beginning, but he doesn't have any time in GP, so he's not going to be able to take care of the bike. So like I could see him being quick off the start in the first couple of laps, but then I could see him kind of, falling back after he wears his tires out and stuff like that.
I guess we'll find out. It's going to be a good season, and Superbike's going to be good. So many changes in each and Superbike and GP, Moto America should be awesome. So we should have a pretty good year racing. Hopefully, it's not as shit as it was last year. Like, I don't know. Like, there was some good stuff in GP, but it was like sprinkled. And Superbike, it was like there was good battles, but you knew in the end who was winning.
Yeah, so I'll say Superbike had the two best races of any league last year. Like they were amazing, but the championship was pretty much decided already.
Yeah.
Like everybody knew that Batista was going to win, but Top Rack put it to him super good. Even though he still lost,
He was just
if there were points awarded for effort, he'd be champion.
motherfucker was riding 190%. You know what I mean? Like he had to override so much, but that's what made it thrilling and cool. But yeah, like hopefully, he's got a good bike under him this year. I mean, it's faster. It's just the BMWs haven't been like the top bike, but I don't think they've had the talent like Top Rack is.
But did you see that Top Rack disagreed with that? Like they were talking about like the issues that the BMW has, like Scott and I don't know if Vandermark was, but because Scott's been pretty vocal about it, right? Like he kind of got in trouble for that a little while ago.
Yeah, but Scott, he's vocal about every bike he's on. He thinks they're all shit.
Yeah, but Top Rack said he doesn't agree. He's like, no, I don't see that. This bike is good.
Yeah.
Like I like this bike. It's gonna work good.
Good. Let's hopefully he's up there fighting with Bautista and Ray and all them again, because that'll be epic, man.
Hopefully he drags Gerloff up there.
I know Gerloff's getting so close. He just needs
I
that
mean,
little bit extra.
Like if Top Rack can be a champion on that bike and BMW can use that data, Gerloff can be top 5.
He's the great white hope for America.
He is.
He's probably the best rider overseas from America, in my opinion.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Dixon's or not Dixon. Fuck. Joey.
Joe Roberts.
Yeah. He's good, but he's got a couple races where he's in the top, or he's had pole position and he's just fucking lost it.
Yeah.
And SDK,
it's hard to say because Moto 2's Moto 2, right? Like
yeah.
It like nobody's gone there and done good, so it's hard to say. Like is a top 5 in Moto 2 better than a top 5 in WSBK? Like I'm not sure. It's hard to say, but I like Gerloff. I'm pulling for him. I hope he does good.
Yeah, Chris, I know we talked about it before, and we had some things going on or whatever, but we'll get with you and try to work something out. See if we can do one with you one day. I think I figured out all the video issues and whatnot, so hopefully we can, work that out. But yeah, man, like I don't know, racing should be good this year. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be cool. We'll have some good things to
finally
view.
Coming back to Mid Ohio.
Yeah,
stoked about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to that if I can, and that'll be fun to watch. I can't wait till we get all the announcements of who's actually going to be on what team, so we can see what kind of lineup and we're not too far away. We're like 48 days away from GP start, and March is Daytona, so we're not too far out, man, from getting back into race season.
Superbike is coming up really quick.
Yeah, Chris, let me know, man. I can join up on yours for sure. Jake's a little bit harder to get lined up with stuff because he has kids and, his work and stuff. I don't have any kids, so I might be a little bit easier to get on. But if we can both get on there, cool. But yeah, shoot me a message sometime, like, I don't know, maybe tomorrow or something, because after this I'm going to get back to work. But shoot me a message. We can try to work something out. I don't know when yours are, but we'll figure it out, dude. Anybody else got any questions, concerns, any, shop talk stuff or race talk stuff, anything, man? Shout it out. We'll get some live Q&A going here first. Sounds good, Chris. Tanvir, shoot me all your questions because I know they're probably like some really ridiculous ones. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Roy Skinner, yep. Hey, Tanvir, next time you're in town, like I said before, you got to hit me up. Don't leave me hanging, buddy. We still got to have that steak dinner. And it's dead air.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm pumped about that. That should be a lot of fun. Doing well, homie. Yeah, we're kicking it, man. We're doing what we can. We're out here just doing the thing. Hopefully you're doing well and all your family. I do want to talk about the Alpine Stars' new fucking airbag, man. Everybody's been waiting on that because they had the Tech Air race. Is there more wheels or doors in the world? Doors, isn't there? I think something like that. Forget the answer to that question. Yeah. Chris, I think I'm gonna try to make it to Pitt. Well, I plan to try to make it to Pitt and Mid Ohio. So probably Mid Ohio would be easier. It just depends on how things line up. But those are the two that I would go to if I was going to go to them. I'm going to try to. You going to try to go to Mid-O?
I can almost guarantee I'll be at Mid Ohio. But I don't know if I'll go anywhere else.
Yeah, Atlanta and Jersey, yeah. That's too far a drive for me, so it's like 9 hours at Atlanta plus.
Pitt's the next closest one, which Pitt isn't bad. What, 3.5 hours or something like that?
It's like 3, really.
Yeah, so it's not bad.
It's not too bad. The hell was I saying? Oh, about the Tech Air. Yeah, it's because they discontinued the Tech Air race, and everybody's complaining about that because that one actually zips into your suit. It's integrated versus just like the vest system. So they just announced not too long ago they have the new Tech Air 7X, which basically replaces the Tech Air 10. So excited about that because that was kind of the only option to do integrated was a Tech Air race, and you can't buy it. So you either had to do a Tech Air 10 or Tech Air 5, and they're not integrated. You have to put them on, and it's separate from the suit. So the 7X is now going to be the same thing as a Tech Air race, where it's integrated, which is cool. It's got a lot of recharges, so you don't have to send it back after just 2 or whatever. So, yeah, I think I'll probably be snagging one of those up because I was, to get one that integrates into my suit, it either had to be the Alpine Star or I had to send it back to Plus, and, who knows how long it would take. And it was kind of a cluster anyways, what they were wanting me to do to get the Helite setup that they now offer. So, yeah, when those come out, that'll be cool to have that. I think that's March or April, I think that comes out. Oh, you're in Virginia, yeah. They should do they go to Virginia Raceway?
Like VIR?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Not anymore. They used to, though, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because that's a really nice track.
I don't know if I ever recall them doing that.
Yeah, I think they went to VIR before. But yeah, man. Not yeah. Well, they dude, I don't know if you ever saw like VIR. You can rent a villa that you could literally just wake up, walk on your balcony, and you can watch the track from your balcony.
Yeah, I'm sure that's cheap.
It's not, and they have garages and stuff. So like, it's a lot of people that go up and do car track days and stuff. They'll rent, and, do that. It was on Top Gear one time, I think. Yeah, they did until 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, okay, cool.
Yeah, I thought they were VR.
I don't know why I don't remember it.
500, yeah, for the villas. Yeah, it's not cheap, but it's cool as shit though.
Honestly, that's not that bad. Share that
to
with
wake
some
up
people
and just drink some coffee on your deck there and check it out. Badass stuff, man. But hell, I mean, I think, didn't you say Mid Ohio's already sold out for camper spots?
For camper spots, I think it was.
Crazy,
Yeah.
dude, crazy. So that should be packed, man. Everybody's just loving to get back to Mid Ohio. So
you remember Derek? You know Derek from OMRL?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he got a spot. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna sneak in your camper just so you know.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be like the old drive-in thing, you know, like where you shove your brother in the trunk and then go to the drive-in, and then they get out and
Yeah.
free movie.
Yep.
We're all just gonna.
Who's
pack
out
in and
underneath
hide.
that blanket back there?
Yeah, we're all just gonna pack in and.
Yeah, Blake Davis, Super Sport. Yeah, on R6. Yep. Well, shit, man. I think. Got anything else there, buddy?
No. Nothing
I think.
pressing.
Think we'll wrap up a little early night. Usually we're at like. Yeah, I saw Atlas has a pretty stacked team this year, so yeah, like I said, man.
Did Posh get back on Atlas?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Posh is on Atlas this year, right?
I thought I read that.
And I think, was it SDK coming back?
I didn't read that, but maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, we talked about Top Rack earlier, man. It's going to be a dude, he's liking the BMW, so hopefully he can, pull out some wins and compete with Ray and them. New bike, a little bit to learn, but, I mean, he said he seemed fast and loved the bike, so it should be pretty interesting. Yes, BMW.
I just don't care to see Batista win anymore.
Oh, Toe Pro Motorsports. A Top Pro Motorsports. SDK, yeah, on a BMW, yep.
Interesting.
That's right, yeah, I did read that, yep. Well, guys, we're going to wrap it up a little bit early today. We both got some work to finish up and stuff, so thanks for joining us. Chris, yeah, I'll get with you. We'll get with you, see if we can't bring you on, or vice versa, we'll get on with you. But yeah, man. Oh, nice.
Interesting.
But yeah, we'll get with you. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I don't know, maybe next time we'll have a guest or something. We'll figure it out where we're going from here. But we will see you guys next time. Keep you updated. So thanks for joining us, and you guys have a good evening.
See you guys later.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you.